just flat completely on the floor. So to give you an idea of how we can start, this is literally very, very small, just about an inch high piece of wood. Put it up, put it out the way, good boy. On the ground, nice and flat. I've got two pieces put together here. And the way it starts is just by asking your dogs to put their front feet on, praising that, and then see if they can go a little bit further on while you guide them. And if they can do that, can they go a bit further? There's a good boy. And then walk them off nice and steady. There you go, good fella. And then wait. So Taylor, can you do this? Paws on. Turn your dogs again. Yes, mind yourself, buddy. Two paws on to start with, give them some confidence. Guide them on a little bit more. Ideally you want them to be straight, which Taylor is not. And then guide them. Can't see because you've got Cassie in the way. Wait. Go on then, get it. And guiding them, holding them on to give them a little bit of a chance. Now this is quite narrow because I've got very narrow dogs. If you've got a bigger dog, you'd need a much wider space. So we want it to be around shoulder width at least for the higher level, for the older dogs one. And once they've got an idea of being able to do this, so Taylor, come off, walk on there please, up, good boy. So I've asked Merlin now to walk on. Even with Cassie's foot in the way, he can still do it. Come out the way, sweet pea. And Merlin, come here, and walk on. Good boy, and that's what we're looking for on a nice low level if you want to keep your dog low to the ground. However, if you have got access to something like a dog walk, as I've got here, then that would be absolutely fine. So Merlin, come. You would then do the same sort of thing. Help them with that walking, good boy, to help them move across it. Now, if you're using a dog walk and you haven't done one before, I do recommend you put the actual walk flat on the floor first. Do what I showed you with the pieces of wood there, and guide your dog along slowly while it's flat to let them get their balance and get their coordination together. But if they're proficient on it, if they're comfortable, as you can see, Mona's very comfortable on here. Hello Cassie, good boy Taylor. Then you can ask them to do the whole thing. So then what we'd be looking for is the same as on the floor. They start at the bottom, and they walk on. There's a good boy, and they don't need to be lured, they don't need to be helped too much, but actually they're doing it by themselves. Whether they go onto another platform or whether it's just held on a couple of bricks is entirely up to you. So for the balance beam, for the older dogs level 1, we're looking for literally short distance that your dogs can walk on a surface that's above the ground, that's at least shoulder width, if not slightly more, it hasn't got to be less, and they can move along it without needing to be held, without coming off and stepping off left and right, and can go from one end to the other comfortably and safely. And to teach it, you start it flat on the ground, and it can stay on the ground if you prefer, help them on with their front feet, and then gradually guide them along until they can do it on their own. Okay, I use walk-on, as you may have heard. Wording is entirely up to you.